in my opinion, the easiest way to stop yourself in your tracks if you're about to go gamble or if you are about to relapse is to find a video of somebody losing an enormous amount of money gambling. Specifically gambling with the type of gambling that you like. No matter whatever it is, it could be roulette. If whatever your game is, watch somebody losing big money playing that game. I guarantee you it will stop you in your tracks, because what you're doing is you're living vicariously through them, through their experience. You're gonna feel the emotions of this too. Trust me, I just did it. It has to be a game that you actually play. That's the only way it's really gonna work. I saw that. I was like, man, it just made me feel so bad. It made me feel so depressed. I haven't gambled in 4.5 years. To watch that guy take $450 and it just like went away in less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes, $450 is just gone. I was like, it was so painful to watch. I felt like it was me. That's why I'm telling you this. I'm gonna do a reaction video to this, but I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, what can I tell people? How can I help them to control the urge? How can I help them to stop from relapsing? Seeing somebody lose money like that, and he never, did he win? I think he won one time. Out of $450, he won one time. And it brought him back to, he was down to like 200, and it brought him back to like $280. And he just went hard. He went all the way in. He did a $100 bet and then like a $99 bet and did not win anything. And he was down to his last $30 or $45, and then like just gone. Everything just gone. I was like, oh my God, like I know that feeling. And that's the whole point of this. You are training yourself and conditioning yourself to have a negative feeling about gambling. You don't want to feel happy about gambling. You don't want to feel excited. If you have a gambling addiction problem, you do not want to feel happy, excited, exhilarated about gambling. Your job is to make sure you feel really, really bad about gambling. Awful, depressed, whatever negative emotion that you can manifest and create around the experience of gambling, that is going to be what keeps you going. That's going to keep you sober from gambling. If you feel good and happy and excited about gambling, that's not good. That's not what you want, because that's how you got in this place in the first place. So you have to figure out what it is that you need to do to create a negative emotion, a negative feeling about gambling that's going to keep you away. It's like, oh no, like having a fear, having a disgust, having a nasty emotion, a very uncomfortable feeling. And that is truly what really propelled me forward. Hearing stories, watching videos. It wasn't much to watch. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. There was really like a couple videos, and then I started watching movies. You know, I would go and search movies, documentaries of somebody losing all their money, and having that etched in my mind. And I was just like, oh no, I can't. There's no way I can. It's like I felt like it was me losing the money. So in my mind, I had already went to the casino and lost the money vicariously through them. You see, that's how that works. You are tricking your brain into like being scared to death to gamble, because you like, I just lost all that money. You know, that's a secret. I'm telling you, it works. Do it enough. And you want it to be you don't want to see them winning. You want to see them losing horribly. Really big, nasty, ugly losses. That's what you need to see. And that's gonna remind you, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to experience that. It's gonna keep you away. It's gonna keep you on your journey towards recovery and keep your money in your pocket, because you don't want to risk losing your money, because the stakes are very high. It's no more about, oh, maybe I could win, you know, maybe this is gonna be a lucky day. There is no more of that. That is gone. Okay, that is gone. When you hit rock bottom, when you barely have 2 pennies to rub together, when you got lint in your pocket, you don't know how you're going to pay your bills, you don't know how you're going to pay your rent, it's over with. Somebody can give you $1,000. Your gambling days are over with. As soon as you get into that slope, that decline, where you're playing money that you should be paying bills with, when you're taking food out of your mouth, when it's no longer your fun money, your spare money, if you're not playing with spare extra money that you don't care whether you lose it or not, that's where you're done. That's where you draw the line, and gambling is no longer a sport. It's no longer for fun. It's no longer a hobby. It's actually something that you're hooked on. Okay? That's who I'm talking to. I get a lot of people that I come in contact with that are like, oh, I'm okay. It's not that bad. But then I hear them complaining about their situation. So I'm like, it's not bad enough. Keep on playing. Just keep on playing. Eventually, you're going to hit that brick wall. Eventually, you're going to hit rock bottom. And I don't mean to be condescending. I'm not trying to sound condescending. I'm just speaking the facts because I've lived it. Oh, I lost a few dollars. No big deal. I'll bounce back. Why are you even thinking about going back to gamble? If you lost it and it's no big deal, who cares, right? If you care about the money that you lose, then that means you have a problem. If you don't care about the money you lose, then you don't have a problem. It's simple. There is no in between. There is no, I want to make some more money. I want to try to stretch my money. I want to try to, no. If you are using gambling as a way to enhance your income, increase your income, you have a problem. You definitely have a problem. If you're using gambling as an extra income source, you have a problem. No question about it. Doesn't matter if you win or if you don't. The reality is you're going to end up a loser in the end. It might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next week. You will be a loser ultimately. Trust me. And I'm not speaking negative on you unless you're a multi-millionaire or billionaire, or you just got some magic spell or some magic juju where you messing with some different type of stuff. If you're a regular, ordinary person, making about $200,000 a year, $70,000 a year, $90,000 a year, $300,000 a year, whatever, eventually the well's gonna run dry if you keep on gambling. Now, at the same time, if you have gambling money that you set aside, if you set aside $500 out of your check and say, hey, this is what I'm going to gamble with every month. This is my fun money. This is how I have my fun. I don't care if I win or lose. This is me going out and having a good time. And the thing is, here's the thing. You can't go that often. You cannot go that often. Like, to me, honestly, if you gamble more than once a month, it gets tricky. If you gamble twice a month, okay. Twice a month is not that bad, okay? It's not that bad. If you gamble 3 times a month, you are entering into a danger zone, okay? And I'm only saying that because the more you gamble, the more you are exposed to this feeling, this euphoria produced by this chemical in your brain. The more exposed you are to this, the more it's addictive. You enjoy it. It's euphoric. It's a drug, essentially. This chemical has a drug-like effect on you. It's a way to escape. It brings you a serious pleasure. It's not something that you need to be exposed to all the time, because you're going to want to feel like that all the time. And the more often that you are gambling, that's a sign that you are hooked on that feeling. And that's why you're gambling more and more, because you like that feeling. Some people say, oh, I'm not addicted to gambling, that feeling. I'm addicted to winning. There's other ways to get money. There's other ways to win. You can play games, you can play a video game, you can win. Okay, then somebody will say, oh, but I'm winning money. Okay, there's other ways to win money. You can enter into an essay contest. You can enter into a grant. There's contests where you can win money that have nothing to do with gambling. So that gambling, you're attaching the gambling, the behavior, that feeling, you're attaching that to gambling. If you could do something else and it brought that feeling that you had, I guarantee you would be doing that thing. But I know it's hard to separate the act of gambling and the feeling that you have. You think that you're only getting that from gambling. Gambling is hacking into your reward system and supercharging you to where you can feel that feeling like nonstop. So every time you press in the slot machine, boom, 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 it's like constantly a dopamine drip. Like, oh my goodness, dopamine, 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 dopamine. Oh my God, it feels so good. I need more. And so the thing is, the more that you're exposed to the dopamine, the less effect that it has on you. So you need to increase. The threshold is increasing. It's going higher and higher. So you're going to need more and more dopamine to get to that feeling. It's like a crack effect. This is the crack effect. Some people call slot machines electronic crack. It is. This is how crack works. Okay, I've watched videos about crack. I never tried it. Trust me, I never tried it. Don't ever want to try it. Deathly afraid of trying it. But what happens is when a person smokes crack or they inject it or whatever they do, I don't know if there's any other way to take crack in. I don't know if you can do it. You shoot it up. I don't know how that works. I don't think you do. The only thing I know about crack is people smoking it with the pipe. Okay? When you get that first hit of crack, it's like, oh my God! Exciting, right? For them. I'm imagining this. I'm imagining because that's what they look like. I mean, they have all this energy and it just feels so good to them, right? Okay. They want more of it. They're like, ooh, it feels so good. So it gives them this crazy dopamine hit. Like, pew! I don't know how long it lasts, but I'm sure it doesn't last that long. And they're like, oh my goodness, I want more. So what do? They go and spend some more money on the crack. Like, oh my God, they start chasing this feeling because it feels so good. It's so euphoric. And the crack is what's doing it for them. It's the crack. I gotta have this crack because this one made me feel like this. Gambling is your crack. I'm about to start getting videos. I'm gonna have you start watching videos about crack because to me, that's the only comparison that I've seen of watching videos about addiction that compares to this feeling. Now, other drugs that may possibly, be on the same level could be ecstasy or Molly, they call it. I'm not sure because I haven't watched that many videos on ecstasy and Molly, so I've watched enough videos about crack because I was literally studying the crack era and watching the degradation because it impacted my community very badly. Okay, so I was watching these videos nonstop. I couldn't help myself. I just kept watching videos about crack addiction and how it destroyed communities in the 80s and the 90s. Like it devastated entire communities across the nation. And when I think about gambling, I couldn't help but think about gambling. The way people were talking about crack and what they wanted to do to get the crack, how they were willing to do anything to get the crack, it reminded me so much of the effect of gambling. People will steal from anybody, their mother, their child. Okay, I seen a video where a lady stole money from her child. I heard about a man that stole money from his child. Stole money from a piggy bank. Sad. And that's not something that they would do under normal circumstances. If they were in their right mind, I know those people wouldn't take from their children. But this crack effect that they're having with gambling is just, and really, they're hooked on the dopamine. They are addicted to the dopamine release that happens in their brain when they gamble. That is what's happening. That's what's going on. The gambling triggers it. The gambling activates it. Okay? That's really what it is. Gambling activates this. It's only a matter of time. The longer you do it, or the more exposed you are, it's going to tap in. That's why I say you cannot gamble very often. It is very dangerous to gamble often. I mean, and the thing about it is, it can creep in at any moment. It can happen to the best of people. It can happen to anybody. It does not discriminate. There are people that are more susceptible to it. Like if a person has a mental, disorder like depression or anxiety, things like that, or bipolar disorder, they may be more susceptible. I hope I said that right. Susceptible, yeah. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. But anyway, a person suffering from depression is more susceptible to the effects of the dopamine. Okay, that dopamine might feel a little bit, stronger than somebody that doesn't have depression. Like that dopamine might make them feel like they're on top of the world, like they're the king of the world. Because maybe they're so depressed all the time. So when they get that really good feeling, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. When they win, that's usually what happens. It usually happens when they win. It doesn't necessarily happen when you lose. I have to be honest with you. If you are losing as a gambler, you're probably not getting that dopamine rush like people are getting. It doesn't happen. The dopamine crazy hit does not happen until you have that big win that is going to cement it in your brain. When you finally get that big win off of $20, you put $20 in a machine and you win 1,000 or 500, you're gonna be like, oh, off of $20, how did I? This is so easy. I can't believe it was this easy. I can do this all the time. So your brain start to play games with you. You start thinking you can do it all the time, even though you know that it's luck. It just happened by chance. But somehow your brain has convinced you that it's really easy to do this and this can happen all the time. And you start chasing that. You're chasing that. The feeling that you had, the euphoria, how amazing it was. It was so easy. That's the crack effect, man. Super easy money that you won off of hardly nothing. And you start thinking, oh, this can happen all the time. And that's the worst thing that can happen. I always say, winning is the worst thing that can happen to a person is gambling. It is. It's the worst thing that can happen. Winning big, the bigger you win, the harder you fall. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. It is the truth. I've seen it with my own eyes. And I've experienced it. So I hope that you guys have gained some insight. I hope I've inspired you to keep on your journey. I hope I've inspired you to start your journey. If you stick with me, I'm gonna help you to the best of my ability. But you gotta want it. That's the only thing. Promise me that you're gonna continue the desire to change your life. You have to want this thing. It's not going to just come to you. You're not just going to wake up one day and say, oh, I'm done gambling. No, you have to want it so bad. You have to be so tired of your life. You have to be so sick of yourself. You have to be tired, disgusted, angry, mad. You have to get angry at yourself. You have to get angry. Get angry at the casino. Get angry. Okay? Get angry. Get raging mad. Because when you are angry, that's when change is going to come. That's when change is going to show up. But you need some fuel. You need some fire. See, people that are not losing that much money and they like, okay, well, I lost this day, and they keep doing it every day or every other day or every couple of days, they have not learned yet. They haven't got burnt bad enough. But they're headed there. If they keep on doing it, like I said, if you're one of the people that gamble twice a month, gamble once a month, you're not in danger. You're fine. You don't have a problem. You don't have an issue. You understand the nature of gambling. You understand that gambling is it's a form of entertainment. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The only issue is when it becomes problematic and it begins to affect areas of your life. That's when it's a problem. There's nothing wrong with casinos. There's nothing wrong with gambling. The problem is when it gets out of control. That's the thing. So anybody that thinks I'm talking bad about casinos, I'm not talking bad about casinos at all, because casinos are not doing anything wrong. They're just a regular business that's trying to turn profit. You know, that's just what it is. It's like, do I like saying that? No, because they got so much of my money. Absolutely not. Like, am I still mad and bitter? Yes, but I'm smart enough to understand that this is a business, and every business has a strategy and a tactic in order to maintain and keep their customers. It's up to you to take control of yourself and take control of your life and understand the risk that are involved fully. See, most people, when they start gambling, especially young people, you don't understand the risk. Okay, as a young person, just turning 21, you don't understand the risk. You don't really know what you're doing. You just think you can go in here and you're having some fun and it's just free money and all you got to do is put in a few dollars. See, that's the problem. When you're young, you don't know any better. I didn't know any better. I was young. I started gambling at a very young age. Okay? Very young age. I was naive. I was stupid. I hate to use that word, but I was a child. My brain wasn't even developed fully, I'm thinking, ooh, yay, just childish. Young people are the most susceptible to this thing. And that's who I really want to help. I want to focus on young people. I see the majority of the people that watch my videos are in their 20s, I think 30 to 40 or something like that. There is still hope, okay? I want to get people before they get caught up in it, but it might not even help because it's like they're in the infant stages of it. So I'll probably end up only really being able to help the people that are in my age group that are, between 30 and 40 or something like that. That's fine, because you probably getting, if you're my age, you've probably been getting beat up by this thing for the last 10 to 15, maybe even 20 years, So I get it. And that's if that's who I'm helping, then that's who I'm helping. But you gotta want it. You gotta get good and tired of your life. You gotta get tired of being broke. Get tired of not having a house, not having a car, not being married to the person of your dreams, not traveling the world, not investing in your money and having a large portfolio of stocks and investments and real estate and, being able to cash out on trips and clothes and shoes and whatever you want and eating at luxury restaurants and just living the life. If you don't have that, and I want you to get angry, I want you to get pissed, okay? Because we gonna get you right. Stick with me, I promise you. I am dedicated to this. I'm so dedicated. I don't know what it is in me, but the fact that I am making it out of this thing, and I have stayed away for so long, and I'm convinced that I will never step foot in a casino. I will never step foot in anybody's casino. I will never put money in anybody's slot machine. I will not be putting any money. I'm definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm not putting no money on no gambling website so they can have access to my money and steal my identity and all this. Who knows? Or not even get paid. I for sure am not fooling with online gambling, so I know I don't have to worry about that at all. Like, it's a whole nother level of security breach that I'm fearful of. So I know I'm not gonna fool around with online gambling. Like, that's crazy to me. I'm a little old school. They didn't have that around when I was gambling. If they did, it had just got implemented, and I didn't really know. I didn't trust it. I still don't trust it. And as much as I see people gambling online and hearing about it, I do not trust that. I done seen all kind of crazy stories about people being on these different apps, and I go on an app store and look at the reviews, and they're atrocious. It's horrible. I saw this one video where this guy, he I think he had to fly out and drive to the casino. He flew out to the area where the casino was, drove 3 hours to get his money, and they would not give him his money. It was a parlay bet or something, and it was crazy. The guy said that they put his winnings, they put the fact that he won his ticket or something on their Instagram, and they will not pay this man. I'm gonna do a video on that too. Look out for that video. I couldn't believe it. So that's the risk that you take with online gambling, not getting paid, not even getting your money. Like, I'm like, are they gonna give you the initial bet that you put up? Like, what's up? So yeah, that's crazy to me. So that's how I know I'm not gonna ever, like, online gambling is completely out of the question. It's too much at stake. I've heard of people getting their bank accounts shut down, fooling around with online gambling. Like, that's crazy. So you don't know what these people are doing. They got access to your information. As soon as you put your information online, you have no idea what they're doing. Okay? You have no idea what they're doing, what their employees are doing. You're out there. You're out there real bad. So, yeah. These are reasons why you should not fool with this stuff. It's not worth it. It is not worth it, guys. So, I feel like I could possibly still be tempted by regular brick and mortar casinos, for sure. Without a shadow of a doubt. Absolutely. That's still going to always be a threat. But just knowing the science behind gambling, addiction, and how gambling essentially hijacks your brain system, a brain function in your system, and tricks you into thinking that, forgetting about everything else around you and being caught up in this euphoric feeling. The crack effect. I'm gonna keep using that. So, I hope it's not offensive to anybody. I apologize in advance, but that's the closest thing that I've seen. I can't say I experienced it, but that I've seen that looks quite similar to the effects of gambling. So anyway, I wish you all the best. Much love. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you healing energy for you to beat this thing. You got this. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I want you to say that. If she can do it, I can do it. Look at me. Look at the screen and say, if she can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. You gotta believe. It all starts here in your mind. You have to believe. You gotta believe it. I don't know if you pray. I don't know if you believe in God. I don't know if you believe in Buddha or whoever. You need a higher power to plug into and to tap into. I don't know. It could be, you could believe that your dog is a healer, that can heal you. Whatever it is. I'm not here to judge. Whatever spirituality that you can cling to that's bigger than you and higher than you, tap into that so that it can give you the energy that you need to really, really, really beat this thing. So with that being said, I wish you all peace, blessings, and love.